Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name's Julianne and this is my first YouTube video ever. So I'm a little nervous putting it out there, but I figured 2019 is the year to make all this happen. I've been inspired by a lot of YouTubers like Jaclyn Hill and Casey Holmes and KathleenLights. They've just really inspired me to go after this and just see what happens. So I figured I have to start somewhere. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I've lived here about 6 months and it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made. And I figured, why not bring a little bit of premium content to Music City? So today I'm gonna show you how to get this look right here. This is my go-to makeup look if I'm going out with friends or I'm just hanging out around town. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. Give me a thumbs up. Maybe leave me a comment. Give me some ideas on what I can do next. And if you wanna see how to get this look, then just keep watching. Okay. To start off this look, I'm gonna go in with the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Luminizer Primer. This is a high-end product that I got in a BoxyCharm subscription box back when I could afford it. And this is a great primer if you wanna have a little more of a dewy look. If you have dry skin, this is really helpful to just make your skin more luminous and give you that nice natural glow. The reason I'm using it, even though I have combination skin, is because I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation, which has become my ultimate favorite. It's very mattifying, so I like to go in with a little bit more of a dewy primer just to give me that good balance. So I'm just gonna take a little drop, about that much, and I'm gonna go ahead and just put this all over my face. And primer is just really important as a first step in your makeup regimen because it just helps your foundation or whatever you use adhere to your skin. And primers can do different things. They can fill in your pores, they can color correct, they can mattify, they can do all kinds of stuff. So you just have to find the product that works best for you and your skin needs, since everybody's skin is different, and just go from there. But for me, this primer has worked really well with this foundation. So now that that's all set into my skin, I'm gonna go in with the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation, and it's only $12 at Ulta. So if you're looking for a nice foundation that is on a budget, this is your go-to. This is the shade F1. This is the lightest shade because it is the winter and I'm very pale, very fair complected. So I'm gonna go in with this and just swipe it all over my face. And the good thing about this foundation, and it is very buildable. So you can have medium coverage, or if you have a lot to cover up like redness or acne. For me, one of my main issues is redness. I don't really have rosacea. I just have a lot of natural redness to my skin. This is a great way to cover that up. So I go in with a good layer to start off with. And then to blend it all out, I'm gonna take my L'Oreal Beauty Blender. You can get this at any drugstore, Target, Ulta, wherever you can find beauty sponges. And I'm just gonna go in and blend it all out. All right, finally, next I'm gonna go in with the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer. Looks like this. The packaging is really pretty. This is, what's her name? Drew Barrymore's makeup brand that she created for Ulta, and I have been nothing but impressed with everything that I've bought from that. This concealer is amazing. It's full coverage. It doesn't crease. I really don't think there's any such thing as creaseless concealer. I mean, everybody has lines underneath their eyes unless you have a lot of money and you can afford eye filler. But I find that this concealer really doesn't emphasize that, and it just blends so nicely into my skin, and it's not heavy. I used Tarte Shape Tape for the longest time because everybody was obsessed with it, and everybody was like, go buy it, and it's the best, and it really is. I mean, it has a lot of coverage, and it's great, but once I started using this, I just found that that felt really heavy compared to this. So this is my new favorite. So all I did was I just swiped a little bit of that under my eyes. And I'm just gonna blend it underneath with the pointed tip of my sponge. and get way in there and blend it downward into my cheek and make sure all those dark circles are gone. It's a long week at school, so definitely have a lot of dark circles. I teach 6th grade and there's never a dull moment, so usually I get lots of dark circles from lack of sleep.
You should see the things we do, baby. In the middle of the night, in my dreams. You should see the things we do, baby. In the middle of the night, in my dreams.
All right, now that that's all done, it is time to set, because this is just a little bit tacky and you don't want the makeup sliding off your face. So I'm gonna take the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. It's amazing. This has become my favorite setting powder ever. Yes, it is a little expensive. You can get it at Sephora, but to me, it's so worth it because it just blurs everything on your face and it gives you that nice filtered look that everybody's obsessed with. So I'm just gonna take that and pat it underneath my eye to set my under eye. And most people use a brush for their setting powder, but I watch Casey Holmes. Like, she's one of my favorite YouTubers. She's amazing. And a couple months ago, she started using a sponge for her powder, like to set it. And I thought, that's odd, and I didn't think it would work because, you know, I figured it would just absorb everything, but I actually like this better than using a brush because I found now that if I use a brush, I get brush streaks on my face and it just doesn't look as good. This just makes it look more even and it just really presses all that product into your skin. So all I did was just take a little bit under my eye, both eyes, and now I'm gonna dab a little bit more and just do the rest of my face.
You should see the things we do, baby. In the middle of the night, in my dreams. You should see the things we do, baby.
All right, this is looking good. So next step, we're finally done with our sponge for now. I'm gonna go in with my bronzer just to warm up the face a little bit because you don't wanna look too light. This is the tried and true ever beloved Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. It literally smells like a tropical vacation. I love it. I've had it forever. It's very well loved. This is the shade Bronzer. There is a shade called Light Bronzer, but I found that this is less orangey and that works for me and my skin tone. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Butter Bronzer and use the Morphe R2 brush for bronzing. I'm just gonna use that to warm up my face. You just wanna get the hollows of your cheekbones and a little bit up on your forehead, but you don't wanna go down all the way on your forehead. And then bring it down to your neck. I don't wanna use too much, again, just because I am so pale, but it works. All right. Next, I'm gonna go in with contour. I actually didn't start doing this up until a few months ago, but ever since I started it, I love it. And I use the Morphe Brontour, so it's a bronzer and contour combined. And this is the shade Celebutante. So you get your bronzer shade and your contour shade. Contour shade's pretty dark for me, so you have to go in with a very light hand. So I'm just gonna take the contour shade, tap off the excess, and I'm gonna make that same face I did with my bronzer, and I'm just gonna get the hollows in my cheeks. All you do is just make that nice little line right there. And I know it looks kind of crazy right now, but we're about to blend it out. Okay, now I'm gonna take a little bit on the corners of my forehead. Honestly, I don't know if there's like a better way to do this, but this is just what I've seen a bunch of beauty gurus doing, so I just follow what they do because they're the experts, and I'm just an amateur. And then I get a little bit on my jawline just to carve that out. And then I put that up. And then to blend it out around my forehead and my jawline, I'm gonna use the Morphe E41. This brush is literally $25, but it's so worth it because it just feels so good on your face. So I'm not gonna get my cheekbones yet. I'm actually gonna bake that contour, and you don't have to do this step. If you just wanna do bronzer and move on, you totally can. But if I'm going out and I want my face to look good, I always contour. But again, it's an option. So I'm gonna take my Laura Mercier powder again and my L'Oreal sponge, and I'm just gonna dab some powder right along that line. And baking is literally what it sounds like. It's your skin warming up underneath the product to almost cook the product into your skin. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's a technique that's been in the beauty community for a while now. And I'm still a beginner in it, but practice makes perfect. So we're gonna leave this on for a while we finish up everything else. And it's just gonna give us a nice sharp line. All right, next for blush, I'm gonna go in with this Tarte Blush Bazaar kit. This was a Christmas gift for Christmas of 2017. So I don't know if this is still available, but there are a lot of shades in here that you can probably get individually. This is the Amazonian clay formula that lasts literally all day. It's incredible. There's tons of shades in here. I'm gonna go in with the shade Dainty, Extraordinary, and Exhilarating. So it's these three shades. I don't know why, but I'm just drawn to very pink shades. And for my blush brush, I'm using the Morphe N530. And I'm gonna smile and just put it on the apples of my cheeks right above that contour. So pretty. And this Extraordinary shade has a little bit of shimmer to it, so it just really lights up your face. It gives you that extra glow that you might need after using so much of a mattifying foundation. And the trick to this, so you don't look like a nutcracker, is just to smile and don't start at the very center, but kind of start right here and then sweep it out. Very nice. All right. I am just going to go ahead and swipe away this baking just because I feel like it and I want to blend in my blush. So all I'm going to do is take my big Morphe brush again and just dust that powder off. And you can see how nice and clean that looks with everything else. So I'm going to do that and then go over my blush to blend all that in. The key to all this is just blend, blend, blend. Blend like a boss. Looks amazing. Can't get enough of Morphe. All right, finally it is time for highlight, one of my favorites. And I'm going to be going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sugar Glow Kit. And I'm going to be combining Marshmallow with Starburst. These are a little glittery, so if you don't like glittery highlights, you may not like this, but I just find that it's not too sparkly for me, at least. There are other shades in here that are way too much, but I love it. So I'm going to take both of those, and I'm going to do this right on the top of my cheekbones. Oh, that looks good. Look at that. Glowing. Brighter than those Broadway lights. Oh, it's just so pretty. And the good thing about Anastasia is that it will last you all night. So even if you're sweating or if it's raining, it's gonna last. I'm gonna do a little bit on the high points of my forehead, above my eyebrows, just where the light hits. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. And then I always do just a little bit on my nose, like down the bridge, and then on the tip. Again, you don't have to. A lot of people don't like that step, but because they don't like their nose, but I really don't care. I think it looks good. Then again, with the big blending brush, I'm just gonna blend all that out. And then our face is done and we're ready for eyeshadow. But before I do that, I am going to set down everything with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. You can get this at Ulta or you can buy it online on their website. This stuff is incredible. It smells so good. It's a continuous mist, so it doesn't cause little water droplets to collect on your face, and it dries really quickly. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. Oh, so nice. I need to buy one of those handheld fans where you just dry your face off. So, and this is already dry, so I'm already ready to move on. All right, next I am going to fill in my brows, and this is super important if you want your face to look real good in pictures. If you don't fill in your eyebrows, they tend to just blend into your foundation and it just looks really odd. I remember the other day I was looking through some old pictures back in the day before eyebrows were really a thing, and I just compared it to pictures now, and it just makes a dramatic difference. However, some people are just blessed with really dark eyebrows, so sometimes you can completely skip this step, but for me, I'm gonna use this. I'm going in with the IT Cosmetics Brow Power. This is a universal brow pencil. You can push in as hard or as light as you want to, and it adjusts the shade to how much pressure you're applying. So I have super dark brown hair, so I put in a lot of pressure when I'm applying this, and I'm just going to fill in my brows.
You should see the things we do, baby. In the middle of the night, in my dreams. You should see the things we do, baby. In the middle of the night, in my dreams. You should see the things we do, baby.
All right, brows are done. So now it's time for the fun part, which is the eyeshadow. So I'm going to be going in with the KathleenLights X Colourpop Dream St palette. KathleenLights is literally one of my favorite YouTubers ever. Her and Casey Holmes and Jacqueline Hill are like my top 3. I credit them with getting me into all this and teaching me how to do my makeup and all the techniques that I've learned. So if you don't have this palette, you need to go out and buy it. It's amazing. You can get it at Ulta. You can get it on the Colourpop website. You can use her code to save money. It's amazing. Do yourself a favor and go buy it. So first, I'm going to go in with the transition shade up here. It's called Shooting Star, and I've hit pan with this, so it's been used quite a lot. Probably time for me to buy another one. And for my blending brush, I'm using the Morphe R37. It's just a very large, fluffy brush. Anytime you're doing like a transition shade or something in your crease, you're going to want to use a nice fluffy brush like this, where it's a little bit tapered, but it fluffs up out on the edges. So I'm just going to take that shade and start blending it into this transition area. And I'm just using windshield wiper motions. So back and forth. And then when I get kind of out to the corner, I'm bringing it in a little bit onto my lid. Okay, so now that we have our transition shade blended out, I'm gonna go in with my inner corner shade, and I'm gonna take the Morphe E17, and I'm gonna go in with this brown shade. It's called Elfish. Also hit pan with it. And you definitely wanna make sure to tap off the excess with that, because it is a dark color. You might get a little bit of fallout, but it's okay. And to do your outer corner shade, you're just gonna wanna dab and swirl and just kind of move in circular motions. And I know it looks a little weird right now, but we're gonna blend it all out. You wanna bring it just into the crease, just a little bit, not too much. And then out into the corner, like that. I'm gonna do a little bit more. Colourpop eyeshadows are incredible. They're so pigmented, so creamy, so blendable, and the price point you just can't beat. And they do free shipping over $30, so what more can you ask for? Okay, so that does look a little harsh right now, so we're gonna go back in with Shooting Star, and we're gonna blend that out with the transition shade. So that way it's not as harsh. Like Jacqueline says, blend out all the harsh lines. Just like that. Now we're gonna do the other eye, and we're actually almost done.
You should say the things we do, baby. In the middle of the night, in my dreams.
And now we're ready for our lid shade. So this is my favorite part. I love shimmers on the lid, but sometimes it's fun to do matte looks, whatever you're into. I'm gonna be going in with the shade Twinkle. It's this shade right here. And it's so creamy and pigmented that you don't even have to use a brush. You can literally just use your finger. So I'm just gonna take my pinky finger and rub it in. And look how pigmented that is. It's amazing. And I'm just going to spread this all over my eyelid. Now you can go in with the Morphe spray, or you can go in with the MAC Fix Plus to make this even creamier and shinier. But if I'm just trying to get ready quick, but I still wanna look like I have makeup on, I just skip that step and I just use my finger, because this eyeshadow is so creamy and pigmented that you don't need really much anything except your finger to blend it in. That's how easy it is. And it's such a pretty shade.
In the middle of the night, in my dreams. You should say the things we do, baby.
And then that's it for the lid, simple as that. So now for the bottom lid, I am going to go in with Shooting Star once more. And I'm gonna use the Morphe E36. It's this nice skinny little eye brush. I'm gonna go back in with Shooting Star, and I'm just gonna buff this on my lower lash line. You want to connect it with your outer corner so you get that whole blended look. Now, I don't like to go down too far on my lower lash line. I know like Jacqueline and a few other YouTubers, they will go down really far, but that's just not my thing. But the beauty about makeup, no pun intended, is that you can just make it your own and do whatever you want. And really just step out of your comfort zone. But for me, I just like to go just this far. And this just gives it that nice, subtle but smoky look, if that's what you're going for. All right, next to give me that eyeliner effect, I'm gonna go in with my Morphe M432. It's this nice flat angled brush. I'm gonna go in with Elfish once more. And I'm gonna treat it like eyeliner and just dab that as close to my lower lash line as possible. Just looks so nice and natural. And it's not as harsh as maybe like a black eyeliner. I used to do that all the time in high school, and it would just make my eyes look so closed off and just so much smaller because of the way I was blending it out. But YouTube was just getting started when I was in high school, so we didn't have the resources that kids have today. All right, done with that. But we do need to blend it out just a little bit, so I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more of Shooting Star, back with my E36, sorry, and just blend that out. No harsh lines, and you're good to go. All right, last step on the eyes, at least for eyeshadow. I'm gonna take the super skinny Morphe M213, and I'm gonna go in with the highlight shade on this Dream St palette, which is Moony. It's right here, and it's such a pretty highlight shade. And I'm just going to dab that on the inner corner of my eye. Can you tell the difference? Just gives you that more awake look, and it draws the eye into your eye makeup. And then I'm gonna highlight my brow bone. All you do is go right underneath the arch of your brow. And it just, I don't know, it just gives it that extra pop. All right, we're done with eyeshadow. So now the final step is mascara and lips. So for mascara, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. And again, it's another affordable drugstore mascara. I find that a lot of mascaras at the drugstore, they're exactly like high-end ones, and they do the exact same job. So if you don't want to spend a lot of money on mascara, just buy one at the drugstore, because they all do the same thing. Some are better than others, but I found that Carbon Black really just does the trick. It's thickening, it's not clumpy, and it just does the job. I don't know. I really don't know what else to say about it. So I'm just gonna, all I do is curl my lashes a little bit, and I'm just gonna go in with this.
In the middle of the night, in my dreams, you should see the things we do, baby. In the middle of the night, in my dreams.
Finally, last step is lips. And when I'm going for like a neutral, warm eye color like this, I like to go in with a nice little mauve color. This is the Flower Beauty Miracle Matte Lip, and this is the shade Rosewood. But first, before I do that, I'm gonna use my NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner. This is in the shade Alabama, which I love because I'm originally from Alabama. And I'm just going to line my lips with this. And I like this eyeliner. My only complaint, wow. I love this lip liner. My only complaint about it is that it's a little crumbly, but it does the job. And I don't have much of an upper lip, so I always overline on my upper lip. So I'm gonna do that. Lip liner, it's not completely necessary, but it just helps me stay in the lines and gives me more of a definition of my lips. Oh, and this stuff smells good too. I don't know what it is, but it just smells amazing. Such a pretty color. And you can wear it year round. That's what I love about it. All right. And I do find that as this stuff dries, it does get a little bit darker, but I just think it's such a pretty shade and it just really pulls everything together. Okay guys, that completes this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell so you get notifications every time I upload. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment below letting me know what you want me to film next, because I definitely need some ideas. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching.